feel free to add up any information that you know. Engaging makes you to understand better, and asking questions makes you to learn more and more, and you even understand better. So if you have any question, you'll ask. If you want to engage, you engage. If anywhere I go wrong, I know some of you are even better than me, or you'll be seeing the mistakes that I'm doing. So just go ahead and tell me, Linda, you not do, why do that? You should do this. Yeah, thank you so much. So I think I did not label. So basically, when you talk about Pandas, Pandas is a Python library that is used for working with datasets. And inside Pandas, it has like various functions, and you can use Pandas maybe to analyze your data. You can use Pandas to clean your data. You can exploit and you can manipulate it, like if you have the data. So the reason why, as a data scientist, you need to use Pandas, or if you are a data analyst, it's because Pandas always allows us to analyze big data and make conclusions based on different statistical theories. So let's say maybe you have a data, you can get a data that is messy. So Pandas comes in and help us to clean it. And also it makes the data to be readable, and sometimes it makes the data to become relevant. So relevant data is an important aspect for you as a data scientist. Hence, Pandas comes in to help you do that. Okay, so for Pandas, I think everyone knows you have to import it because it's a module. It's something like a module, and it's under the Python libraries. So you have to import it, and to import Pandas, sorry, I'm in caps. To import Pandas, you just say import Pandas, but it's always good if you import it with its alias, which is as PD. So if you have this, then you run it. Pandas will be, it has imported on your Jupyter notebook, or if you're using Google Colab, it will be have imported so that you can start working on the set or the list that you want to work on.
Sorry, Linda.
Yes?
Are we not supposed to first install it before we can import it?
Yeah, you need to have it in your environment. So I was assuming everybody has it. Do you have it in your Jupyter environment? If you don't have it, you have to make sure that it's in your environment. Like if you're using Anaconda, make sure that your environment has Pandas. And also, if you're using Google Colab, you can use it, or you can do pip install Pandas if you don't have it, so that it's under your environment. So I was assuming that because you had gone through the notes, I think everybody has it, or who doesn't have it, so that you can help him or her. Was it Ray, you're the one who asked me?
I have it. I just thought maybe if you just mentioned the team, it's just yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, Linda, perhaps there's someone who doesn't know and he or she is afraid to ask. Perhaps
Yes.
you can just show them how you can install it.
I think you can do pip. Is it pip install? Pandas. It has a question mark. I'm not sure. Because mine is in the environment. Where's my? Yeah, you see, mine is already there. So you can if you want to install it, you can write pip install Pandas. It's the easiest way. Or you can install it in your Anaconda environment. You go to the environment, then you install it. So if you don't have it, because you need it for it to work when you start working on data frames. Yeah. So mine is already there. I can't install it again. Anyone who is stuck? Maybe you can help before we go on. You people should talk.
We are good. We are good. Please go on.
Yes, you need to talk. If you don't talk, I'll not know if everybody's
You
on
are
the
doing
same.
well. You are doing well. You are doing well. You are doing well.
Okay.
We are fine. Thank you. We are fine.
Thank you so much. So after you've installed, you can import Pandas, and I've just gone ahead and told you that Pandas is usually imported under the PD alias. So if you say import Pandas as PD, that is the alias, like it's an alternate name of referring to the same thing. Like Pandas as PD. Like PD is just the same as Pandas, but you're just importing it as a PD. So we can start by maybe you can check your version of Pandas. You can just check it the way Nehemiah checked the version of NumPy to know if you have it in the correct. So like for mine, I can check PD. Then version, just how Nehemiah was checking NumPy yesterday, just to see. So mine is version 153. So that is the type of Pandas that is in my Jupyter notebook. So I'll go ahead and teach you people something that we call Pandas series. Pandas series is just like a column in a table. Like it's just like a one-dimensional array holding data of any data type. So for example, I can say import Pandas as PD. Then you can have something like a list. I can call it numbers. Then I can have 1, 5, 1, 3, and then maybe 7. So for series, you initiate like another variable. You can name it something different. Like you can say like my numbers. Then you introduce the series. Then you call your variable which you had initialized to the list. Then you can print. So you print my numbers. So this is definitely like a series. If you check it out, you see like it's giving us like the index of each of the item in the list. So like the first item 1 it's at index 0, then the item 3 is at index 1, then the item 7 is at index 2, and the data types is showing that it's dealing with integers. If it say int 64, that means that the data type of these series, these numbers is an integer. Yeah. So was not understood there. Like you can use it like the series is just like looking for the column. Like a Panda series is like just like a column in a table. So you see like this one brings like 1, 3, 7. It shows it something like it's a column with elements 1, 3, and 7. Yeah. Anyone with a question? Okay, nobody. You can even decide to maybe, if you want the series like to have, maybe you name them something like you say you want maybe this number 1 to be like maybe D, or 3 to be C, 7 to be D, or you want this number 1 to be element 1, element 2, element 3. You can decide to change the series so that, let me just copy paste here. Then you just come here where you've written here PD, then series. Then after you've written your numbers, you set your index. So index, you can say is equals to, then let's say the first value, how can we index it? You can say let it be maybe say A, then let the second value maybe be B, then let the third value maybe be C. So if you run it, you'll see it will replace this one. So you see that at the place where we had 0, it's now A, B, and C 7, B is 3, and A is 1. So who is stuck there? That is how the series in Pandas works. Like if you want to check the series of your list and check how the elements are arranged in index order, you can do it like that. Anyone with a question before we proceed? Anyone with a question? You people are good? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Silence.
Mr. T is saying that
You are good. Yes?
there's someone who had commented that he's not good, but now he's saying that he's good.
Let me see with that because I want him to talk.
Oh yeah, he's saying he's good. I think.
Mr. T, Tom Twinny, can you talk? No, just talk to say you're good and you're good.
I'm the one. It's Thomas.
Oh,
it's Thomas. I'm the one. Yes.
Okay, are you good?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm
Yeah, I wanted to hear your voice. That's great. Okay, so let's try maybe create another different way you can represent like the series in Pandas. Maybe you can decide to use a key value or an object. Like use when creating something like, let's say this was a list and maybe you want to create something like a dictionary. You can decide to use a key value or an object while creating the series. Let's say, for example, after you've imported import pandas as PD. Then let's say, for example, your variable is calories. So you want to check, let's say we want to check Linda's calories, maybe day 1 or maybe month 1. So we can say maybe month 1. Is that how we write month 1? So we can say month 1, then we say you put a column, then let's say Linda had, let's say, how many calories can I, 300 is better. Then we say maybe month 2. Let's say I had, let's say 500 calories. Then month 3, let's say I had maybe, let's say something like 450 or 540 calories. So let's say we have month 1, month 2, month 3. So this is like you are creating a series, the series in form of key values or objects, but this is a dictionary. So that under month 1 will reflect 300, month 2 will reflect 500, and month 3 will reflect 540. So when you come and maybe create your PD.series, then you call out the calories, which was the variable. Sorry. Then let's print my var. Here should be is equals to, like that. You see what I'm talking about? You see, like it picks month 1, 300, month 2, 500, month 3, 540. This is a dictionary, but you see you have it's like a series, like it's showing the key value and it's showing the input of that key value. Like month 1 you have 300, month 2 you have 500, month 3 you have 540. It's just the same like this one. There's no difference. It's just the same like this one. This one was a list. Then you are trying to make sure that each element has a series in it. Like you are defining a series in it. So this one, like let's say it had A is equals to 1, B is equals to 3, C is equals to 7. It's the same as this one also, but the only difference is that the last one here, this one is a dictionary. So you write month 1, 300. Even another person could have said maybe year 1 you are 12 years, year 2 you are 13 years, year 3 you are 14, and so on like that. So the keys of these dictionaries, like this month 1, month 2, month 3, it's something like labels. Like you are labeling the elements that are inside that dictionary. I hope everyone is okay there. Anyone who is stuck? Because after there, I just want to go to data frames now. Or we can create the ones, we can use also create the ones that, was it the ones that were used in the example, but I'll create them as we go by. So data frames.
This example you are
Yes.
giving is so interesting.
This one.
Can you also use lists to do the example? This thing, tuple.
Yes, you can, and that is where I'm heading to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
one I was just saying, yeah, and that's what I'm heading to, like a column, like it's just showcasing like the keys, for example, like 300 for it's month 1, 500 is month 2, 540 is month 3. But now when you come to data frames, now you'll see how you can use it maybe in a list too, you can use it maybe in an array as you go on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so when we talk about data frames in Pandas are usually multi-dimensional tables, and it's just like a data frame is just like a wall column. And Pandas is always built on, not Pandas, data frames are always built on NumPy and Matplotlib. But most common data frames are always in rectangular data. Like the rectangular data is something like, how is it called? Like a table, and then it has columns and rows. So that is how a data frame is always presented. Like it's always like a rectangular data. So in Pandas, rectangular data is always represented as a data frame. That is how we just define it. Yeah, so I think we can just go ahead and maybe create the first data frame. So for example, we can import pandas as PD. Then we can have something like, who can give me any variable, like something, we can have something like data. Then we can have something like a list, but the list can have something like, just a minute, calories. Then the calories, so we have calories. Then under calories, maybe you have different types of calories or the elements of calories, so you can place them as a list. Let's say 200, 400, 300. Then let's say we have another different variable. Let's call it duration. So it should be in, then you can say the duration is, let's say maybe 30, 50, 60. So let me close it. So you can call it PD. So when you come to a data frame, you see here I was writing pd.series, but now we have moved from series, we have now gone to data frames. So you'll call it you'll say pd.data frame now, because here you are just checking the series of that from that list or that array. But here now you come and now say pd.data frame, then you call out the variable that you assign, data, and you can print now my var. Is it ours is my var? So we can print my var. So let's see what we get. This is capital. Sorry guys, this is capital. Yeah, there it is. So you see, you have something. You see, like a data frame. I've told you it's something like rectangular data. You see, this one, if you can draw it in something like a table, you can see we have like the rows and you have the columns. So here you've created two columns, which are the calories and duration. Then under calories, you have the 200, then 400, then 300. Then under duration, you have 30, 40, 60. And in data frames, the calories and duration, these are the columns, and these calories is at index 1. Then duration is at index 2. But the rows usually start counting from at index 0. So the first row is index 0, the second row is index 1, then the third row is index 2, and so on as you move downwards. So just go and let's now write the. Is anybody has a question?
Linda,
Yes.
I wanted to ask, is it a must for you to keep on reference import pandas in every cell?
No, it's not a must. I'm just doing it because maybe somebody can wonder, but I can leave it. But so long as you've already run it here, it's the Jupyter notebook, and like it's already like Python has already known that is something that you've run, so it will work. The next cell will work so long as you already imported it. So it's not a must to go on repeating it. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the functions, I don't know whether they are functions or what. So the ones in Pandas are supposed to be capital letters, like the way you're using data frames and series.
Yeah, this D and F is capital. This one. And also if you check at series here, it's capital. Yeah. So if you put maybe small s, I don't think it will work. Let's try and see. Let's try. Because I think it will say it will say module pandas has no attribute, like there is no such attributing in pandas. You see, so it won't run it. So you have to use capital. And the same as here. You remember the first time I had written F as a small f, then it told me the same thing. It doesn't have that in pandas, so you have to make sure D is capital and F is capital.
Thank you.
Maybe just to add on that.
Yes.
The way we used to, when we were talking about the Python functions, you said that Python, it was case sensitive. So you have to use the function name that you define it to call it. So likewise in Pandas, Pandas is a module, it's a package that contains modules, and inside the module we have the functions inside it. So for example, for data frame, they define it in that Pascal case format. So it is very case sensitive. That's why when you add in with a small, it will throw an error because that's not what was defined there. Python is very, very case sensitive. Yeah, so you should know that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nehemiah, for that. And so I want us to use the example that was used in Explorer I. So under Explorer I, I'll just write the import. I'm just writing it for the sake, but you after you run it, don't write it because it's something like you are repeating yourself. So under the example that was done in Explorer I, they created a list, and the list contained data. So like our first list, I can just say, let me call it my list, but for them they call it list DF. So my list, then this is how you create a data frame. In short, this is how you create a data frame. But something that I know with the time, after you've learned this, because this is at the basics, next time you'll not be creating data frames. Let's say maybe you are in real world situation. You'll not be creating data frames. You'll already have data that is already there. Your work will be to import it, the way you've been doing pd.read CSV. After that, then you go on and start working on that data. That is where Pandas now comes in. But here, the basics is just you knowing how to create the data frames and looking how the output is and how it looks like. But now in real world situation, you'll have the data. You'll be given maybe to analyze football, maybe the football or let me say something about gymnastic players in USA to see who is more masculine, to see. You'll just be given the data, and then your work will just to be imported. So when you run it, it will just come and you start now cleaning and doing everything of the sort. Yeah. So this is just basics for you to understand how a data frame looks, how you can create a data frame. I think there is somebody who was talking. Was it Ray? Or Ray or Vin?
Yes, I was the one talking.
Yes.
I was saying that when we use the pd.series, if it is not integers that you put there, it gives you a data type of object.
Yes.
So can you just touch on that a bit?
If I touch on, like, we use an example or?
Yes,
Do you want us to use an example?
Yes, just use a simple example.
Okay. So I think you give me that example. So let me go back here. You'll see how these things are easy, because these are just basics, but when now it comes to you after you've importing, like the time you know how to import that CSV file or Excel file in Jupyter Notebook, or if you're using Google Colab, now Pandas comes in whereby you can manipulate the data as much as possible as you go by. You can delete rows, you can do anything on the data. So I think, Ray, you can give me so that we try. So what is your variable? Hey, Ray.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you copy the cell above?
This
Then
one?
let's replace. Yes.
Then
Let's
so you want us
replace the one. Replace the numbers with fruits.
with fruits.
Fruits, yes.
Fruits.
You can put mango, orange, and banana. Nehemiah always likes mango, so let's put mango, orange, banana.
He really loves bananas. Then oranges. Then what is the last one?
Mango.
Mango.
You've not closed the square bracket.
Thank you. Then you have to change here.
No, we can.
Here.
Yes. To fruits.
Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, it works.
Yes.
It works, yeah.
So instead of giving us a data type of strings,
Yes.
it's giving us a data type of object. Like it's containing more than one data type. That's what I'm just trying to mention.
Or you like one.
So does that mean that it can accommodate different data types in a single series?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it can.
So that means if we change orange to 2 now, it will still work.
To 1, yeah, we can try. I think it will work. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
And thanks for that. That is a very important question. Thank you so much for that.
And also, I think yesterday I touched on pandas being like a heterogeneous. Like we saw NumPy. NumPy only accepted the data type of the same data type. It can't work with several. It is homogeneous.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
for pandas, it allows several data type. So that's why you can work with the integer strings and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Any other person before we go on? Because we are just going to look at another example. Are you people okay? Where's Ian? Ian, are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Thank you so much. I just feel like today you are not talking. Yesterday you are talking, so I don't know today. Or am I boring?
No, you are not boring, and you can never be boring.
Okay, thank you so much. So I just
Linda,
yes,
how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yes,
I want,
yeah, also Ibrahim. Yes,
yes, I want to ask
yes.
Nehemiah a question because he
Okay.
has said that pandas accept different data types,
Yes.
but I think it's different data types, but a column needs to have like the same data type. If I'm right from what I read in the modules, maybe Nehemiah can clarify.
Nehemiah, the question was towards you.
Okay, that's great. I think what you'll have to do just like try to
Yes.
create columns, and we shall just prove it. Maybe for us to understand better. Perhaps you go to your notebook, and then at that part where we had the calories. Actually, for good statistical analysis,
Yeah.
for example, you want to like have only the column for like for example it was calories. For example, you want to have the that part that contains only the value, so that you can analyze very well, like to do the summation and all that. So you'll have to like make it like contain only a particular data type, but it doesn't mean it can have several. That's not a good idea. For example, if you want to do analysis, perhaps you just copy that cell 9.
This one. This one.
Yeah, cell 9.
So let me just get rid of this.
And then I try to you saw that place where we have a 300.
Here.
Yeah, so basically that's a dictionary, and a dictionary can contain also other data type is the value. So we have the key. For example, key there is calories, which is gonna be like the column name. And then now that part where we have the list, the value part, it will be now the values in the column. So you can have the integers there. You can try to add in the integers, and then add also the string.
What should I add? I add a string.
Add a string. Add a string. Something like that. Try to execute and see. Yeah, so guys, you can see it works. But now, for example, when it comes to another you want to like to analyze your data, it won't be a good idea. For example, you're working with a column that contains the null values. You won't like do what you won't have a nice time to analyze your data if it has the strings in it. So you ensure that it contains only a particular data type, but it doesn't mean that it can't have a different data type. We say that pandas is heterogeneous. It can contain other data type, but for a good analysis is good. For example, if it's a column that should contain only the strings, only the integers, and then all the values should be in integers. So for example, you want to do some aggregation there and stuff. Yeah, but it can contain any other data type. As we said that pandas is heterogeneous. It allows multiple different data types. I think it's clear.
Yes. No, it was Ambali. Ibrahim, are you okay? Ibrahim.
And
Where did he go?
also, Linda, I've sent the CSV file. You can use that, for example, when you reach a point where you want to like use.
Hey, Linda, what you were asking, I had like stepped aside.
I was saying if you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that example that I've seen. There is some integers and strings in one column that it has worked. But Nema has explained that when it comes to data analysis, it will be difficult. It won't be a good idea to work.
Yeah, it will affect you, the fact that when you come, especially, so it will give you much time in cleaning, because you'll either have to replace this value, or you'll have to drop this column.
Yeah.
So it will give you, it will be a lot. But when it comes to cleaning data, that plays a crucial role in both data analysis and data science. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nema, what were you saying? I use your data. Where have you sent it?
I've seen on
Because I just wanted to use the one
or you
they had in Explorer.
or there's a CSV file there.
Yeah.
For example, okay,
It's
okay,
there. Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay, so is everyone okay? Yeah, I think everyone is okay. So let's look at an example. I started writing it and then I deleted. Let's look at one of the examples from Explore AI so that we're on the same page. If maybe somebody did not understand before we move on, because after here we'll just import the data and then see how we go about it. So import Pandas as PD. Then there they had created a list, and the list had some data, so we can call it my list. Then we had data. So the first one had 32. Then we had Portugal. Then we had 94. Or let me just say 95, 94. Then we had the second one that had 30. Then we had Argentina. Then we had 93. Then the last one was 25. Then we had Brazil. As in, I want us to write like this. Then we write. I want us to write like this. And then we write it again like this. Then from there, I think everybody will have understood how. If you are told to maybe create a data frame, you can do it. Then we had Brazil. Then we had 92. Yeah. So after there, they created the index, like the indexes, for example, like the names of the players, they placed them as their index for this data frame. So the index was, the first one was, I'll just choose one name because of time. So I'll just say Ronaldo. Then we can have Messi. Then you can have Neymar. I think people like football had a good time reading this. For us who don't know anything. Then the columns. So the columns, they had the age. Then we had nationality. Then the last one was overall. Overall, maybe their position overall. So while passing in the data frame, maybe we can say like football. Then is equals to PD. Remember, D is capital, F is capital. Then we pass in now the data, and our data now we have the list, then we have the index, then we have the columns. So we have our data is equals to my list. Then index is equals to index. Then columns will just be equals to columns. Is equals to columns. I think it's okay.
Linda, can I ask something?
Yes.
Is it a must you follow like you have to create the index before the columns, or you can interchange?
No, I think you don't. Do you need to do it?
No, I'm just saying, is it a must?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. So that is PG. Is it?
No.
Are you good? Is it? Or you have the same voice? It's Wairimu.
Yes.
It's Nemo, I think.
Yeah. Okay. You talk the same as PG. So let's. So we need to print football. I hope I don't have any spelling mistakes anywhere. If I have spelling mistakes, you people should help me. So you see what happened? So we created our data frame. It looks like a table. I've told you a data frame is just like a table. It's rectangular data. So that you see the edge. The edge was picking the first element on the list. So we had 32, and then it picked 30, and then it picked 25. Then we went ahead for nationality. It picked Portugal, Argentina, Brazil. Then when the last one overall, maybe their position overall, maybe. I assume that is the case. And then we had 94. Then we had 93. And then we had 92. Yeah. So the index is this Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, which is something like just the series, but it's it took the index column of our data frame. And also another person can create it like this. Like you can create it now the way we had created calories. You can say age, then you place the ages. Let's do it. Then we move ahead. So another person can do this. Another person can say my list. Then they start. So they'll create a dictionary. So they'll have the age. Then you place it should be outside. You place a column, then you insert the ages. So the ages was 32, then you had 30, then you had 25. Then comma, then you go to the next key, which is nationality. Then column, then you insert now the nationalities which were, we had Portugal, then we had Argentina, then we had Brazil. Then we go to the last one. The last one is overall. So we go to overall. Was it small or capital? L, N, O. It was capital. Overall. So again, under overall, you place a column. Then we had 94. 94, I think we have 94, 93, 92, 94, 93, 92. You see? So that is our dictionary. So what we'll just go ahead, you'll just go and write the index. So I'll just copy this. I don't want to repeat myself. Because already this is now this age, nationality, and overall it's like the columns now, the column names, or you can say the key values. So you can do this. And then I can just take this. I don't want to repeat myself. So what will change? We have my list. My list stays. Index says, so what goes is my columns. This one goes. Then we print. We print football. Yeah, I think it's okay. So let's see. Yeah, it works. So you can create it this way, but if you create it this way, now this one become a dictionary. You see? This is a dictionary because you see you have what are these ones called? This one and this one. Who knows English?
And the curly brackets.
Yes, the curly brackets. You see, because this now becomes a dictionary, but under it there we have the list. This is the list, and then have another list. But this age, nationality, and overall are the column names. You see, age, nationality, overall. Then the elements now comes under the column names. Then this one is the index, like it's the index column now for this data frame. So up to there, who has any question? I think with data frames that is okay. But most of the time, as I've told you, this is just basically need to know it. But somebody like a data scientist will just be importing the data and then you start working on it from the word go. Unless it's an interview and they're testing you on coding skills, maybe. So who has a question? Anyone who has not talked? Or you can talk and say we are good, let's go on. Or I can mention your names.
We are good, leader.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Gioma. Thank you, Lorraine. I've seen your thumbs up. Thank you so much. So I think you people, I feel like Pandas is not hard for you people. And that's amazing. I like it. So I think from there, maybe what can we do? We can go and maybe import. I'll just go and import. Let me just copy the one that was in Explore. Let me just go to my here so that I can copy it. I had that notebook open. So I just want to know before I copy it, like I just want you to know that anytime you are told to load how is it called, maybe data or a CSV file or an Excel file, but most of the time if you're working with Python, most of the files are always maybe CSV. Maybe you've gone to Kaggle and you've gotten maybe a project and you've downloaded the data and you want to import it. Maybe somebody is using Google Colab, another one is using Jupyter, whichever environment you are using, so long as you are on, like it's Python, it will work. So I just want you to know that anytime you are importing, just make sure that after you've defined your variable, the one that maybe you have said load df, or you've said maybe another person can say df, just make sure that remember the formula is always pd.read underscore CSV. That is for CSV. If it's Excel, I think it will have the extension. I don't know the extension for Excel. It's usually X something. I've forgotten. It's XLS if I'm not wrong. So just make sure that anytime you are loading in, you make sure you say pd.read underscore CSV. So for example, before I load, let me just say loading file. Let me say CSV. So I think I can do this. So just make sure, let's say our file, you can call it df. Just make sure you remember the formula that I've said. So who is remembering what I've said so that he or she tells me so that I can write? Anyone? Are you people sleeping? Let me select. I don't want
We are not sleeping. No.
Let me select somebody so that they can tell me. I do not select because you people are on my screen and the people who have talked. Let me see if I can get somebody. I think Kito, is it Kito Madendu? Where is Kito? Kito, can you talk? What should I write?
Honestly, I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Any other person? There is a reason why I've picked, because I want it to stick. It will be. Is always Jacob Njenga? Can you talk if you are at a good place before I choose Joanne? Jacob. It's okay, Joanne.
It will be PD.
Dot
read.
Then if I'm not writing okay, you tell me. Then
Underscore CSV.
Thank you. It's in small CSV. So I think those people who maybe I talked and they didn't listen, sorry, that is the wrong word to use. Like they didn't get what I said, like how I was explaining. I just want you to remember this is something that needs to stick in your mind, like if like forever. Like you don't have, like it should stick now. From now, it's 9:48. From 9:48 date 2 February 2024. Like if somebody wakes you up and tells you to load or to explain to them, just remember you always do pd.read underscore CSV. If it's if it's an Excel file, I think it will be underscore XLS, because this is just an extension to showcase that file indeed is a CSV or it's from an Excel file. So just remember this. This should stick from today onwards. Like don't forget any time and don't ever forget it. So after that you have to
Linda,
Yes?
maybe to add on that, now
Yes.
assuming that they use the alias PD, remember
Yes.
someone can decide to use Pandas direct, or they can use a different alias name. So
Yeah.
that part of the PD applies only if you're using the alias, but it could be, for example, Pandas, or
Yeah,
it
exactly.
could be something else that you had written for alias name.
Yeah. True.
So,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
what people need to know is that the first parameter is the module name, then and then a dot, then the file that you want to read.
Yeah.
And in most cases, it is a CSV, comma separated file, and a JSON.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Sorry, Linda. I'm trying
Yes,
to get
yes.
something clear.
Let me go back.
If your title is saying loading a file, does
Yeah, loading.
it double up for loading a file as well?
Pardon?
Like importing?
Yeah, importing. Let me check
Okay.
it. But I think it's the same thing. It's like you're uploading it in your Jupyter, but let me change it.
Okay.
Let me change it so that it doesn't confuse. Yeah. That now sounds better.
And to make it a good markdown, separate that hash from your word so that it can work.
Okay.
That hash should have some spaces there for it to be a markdown.
Like this?
Yeah, like that. So when you run it, will be.
Yeah, that looks better. Thank you. Let me do so for here again, just in case people will want the how is it called? Yeah, that looks good. So let me copy it. So this is the, how is it called? The path of the file that you want to import into a Jupyter file. But here you can stop from here actually. You can stop from here. I could have decided to stop from here. You see here where I've placed my is it how is it called? This closing, is it closing what?
Round brackets.
Yes, the closing round brackets. You could stop from there, but I think here now they wanted to specify that the index column should be the one that has the names, like it should be on the index part. Like for example, here our index column, you see, our index column is the one that has the names of the players. So they wanted to specify that, but still, if you don't specify and you just place the round bracket, it will still load. So I think I have an extra round bracket here. So let's see if it will work. Let's see. Yeah, I think it has worked. It had issues. I think everyone who tried to run it. Did you people encounter such thing?
Linda, can you try to use a simple Excel file that I've shared in the group?
Which one?
I've shared in the group.
Oh, in the WhatsApp. So I have to go. I have to go to. I've not. My WhatsApp is not on my laptop. So I have to send it to. Let me give you my email here so that it becomes easier.
Okay.
But this one could have worked because it has imported. It just has it doesn't have any problem. It's because of the kernel and the warnings, and we have mixed types of information, or we have low memory. But it's okay. I've sent with my how is it called?
The email.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share with you. Let me see. Email. So that people will also understand how to import from their system.
Okay.
The email is Same. Okay.
Have you gotten it?
I've shared. I think I've shared. You can't access it, or maybe what you do.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, yeah. Download it. Is it a CSV? Yeah, I believe it should be. Yeah, use that one. And then I think you'll have to rename it so that it can be quite easier to type. That one I've just picked from the internet. I've just downloaded from the internet. So that
Okay.
so that
No
people
problem. How do I name it? Because how is it
download
in my?
first. Yes.
I've downloaded it and it's coming as a document.
As a what?
Document. You see? Let me show you. You see? It's coming as a document. Can you see my screen?
I can see the screen.
Yeah,
Now the extension. Maybe you try to download it to your system. Then I will check the extension. Is it docs or .csv?
Let me see. It's docs.
Docs. The extension.
Yeah. Or you can send me the link to where you've gotten it so that I download it myself.
Or you can hard code
But
the extension.
I had another data though.
Yeah, sure. You can use it.
Yeah, let me just look for it. I have a data here.
So that people will understand how to use the absolute part, the relative part, and also how to use the web URL to access these files.
Or can I stop sharing so that you showcase on your side?
No,
but
no.
Let me see first. Let me see first if I have the file.
What you do? Just go to your browser and then a search. In fact, just
can I go to Kaggle so that
anywhere. Yeah, sure.
Let me see customer charm. Let me see if I can get something.
You are sharing the nini. You are sharing the window, not the entire screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing. I'm sharing. Let me just search. So I think I did something with search data. Customer charm, products, I think. I think it's
CSV. I think the easiest way could just be okay.
This one is zipped. The easiest way could have.
Yes.
Let me unzip it so that.
Yeah. Will you mind to share your entire screen, because there's something that, or you have sensitive things there in the computer.
You have sensitive things in your computer?
No, I'm asking.
No, I don't.
So if you can share then the screen so that I think people will understand, for example, how to access the files.
Okay.
The absolute part or a relative part.
Okay. So let me stop sharing first. Oh, you guys, we are sorry for that. So you want me to share my entire screen or my entire window?
Entire screen.
Okay. Okay, there it is. So It's this one.
Are you able to like enable a file name extension so that we can see the extension, or when you have on it, it can, like you see, there's that part where you have the ellipse there, there at the top.
Where?
On your file explorer, there at the top, where we have the sort new there at the top, kabisa. We have the ellipse there, the ellipse there at the end. There are 3 dots there, and then
this one.
yeah. Click there and then try to click on option. I'm not a user of Windows.
Mine is Windows 11.
Yeah, so I'll try to like see where there's show file extension. Is it, where is it? Oh, that part where we have the view, and then search where we have file name extension, enable extensions. Scroll down a bit. There's no option to show extensions.
No.
Scroll. Because guys, you'll need to understand. You'll need to know the extension so that you'll be able to write the correct name. This,
I can stop sharing so that you share on your side. Then
I think it's properties.
Properties.
The properties. Just try check. Yeah.
Then
location. I think it's the location.
Then
you want to copy the location of the file?
No, we want to check the extension because here it is.
But I try to have on it. When you have on it, does it display like the file type? Because I think when it has the X there is an Excel,
it's
not a
an
CS.
Excel, yeah.
Or can I just share my screen?
Because
and then you'll pick up from there.
Linda?
Yes?
Try viewing in list form because right now it's in pictures.
Okay.
Just go back. Down here where you have the pop-up.
Yeah. Here view.
No, down.
Here.
Yes. So the next one.
It's here. It's Excel.
Yeah.
No, it's this one. Yeah, it's Excel.
This is Excel.
Yeah. Let me just stop sharing so that you can share on your side. Then.
Okay. And then
because it will be easier. Then I'll chip in and explain just in case you need me to explain what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
The file extension is a CSV.
Yes.
Which one, PG?
Yeah, I'm saying that file.
Yes.
Yes, it's like you can open it in Excel, but it's a CSV file, not an XLX file.
Yeah, I think so too.
You can see the screen. Let me do this. Exit full screen. Now I think that the reason. Let me first of all try to. I don't know if I have those files here. I don't have. In fact, let me go to the web and then search for sample CSV file download, and then I can download it. I believe, guys, you can see what I'm displaying here. Guys, you can see.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, let me download any. In fact, let me use a simple one that has a few MBs, like this one. You see mine it displays the extension. These are .csv. I'm not a user of Windows 11.
Yeah, Windows 11 is It's usually sometimes it's complicated, but it's fast.
Yeah, but if you are in Windows, if you are on Windows, if you are on Windows 10, and then I want to check the extension, you basically go to the views, and then you ensure that this file name extension is enabled. I think it should be also on Windows 11. I don't know why, but I think if you have time, then I'll go through it very well. You will find out that there's this option too for file name extension, so that you can see the extension of the files that you have here. Because that is very, very important. Like first of all, let me try to rename this one to be symbol one. Let me just use something like a sample. Let me use a sample. Yeah, because sometimes, guys, you can have a JSON file. You can have a different type of files. So you need to understand which file you are working with, so that you may read them very well. You may read them very well. So, like for example, for JSON file, for JSON it is in key value pairs. So when you read it very well, you won't have issues. But for example, if it is as a JSON and then you are reading it as a CSV, you'll have issues. So you ensure that you know the extensions here by going to the view. Then ensure that file name extension is enabled if you are reading the CSV file. And then on that part, let me try to open the Jupyter notebook. Jupyter, and then sorry guys, for interruption. But I think also it's important for people to understand how, because it's not all the cases that you'll be using the files in the web. Perhaps the other time, the other time you'll be working on the files in your operating system, so you'll need to understand how to read them, to load them. Let me find that file. So if you have the file in the same path, in the same directory, you'll use the relative path. Like for example, if it's here, if you have the notebook file in this directory, let me open it. Let me call it sample. So like you can see now, if you want to read that CSV, because it is in the same directory, you won't try to specify the path and all that. You'll just you'll just use it direct. So let me say import. Let me zoom in fast. I import pandas. I'm just trying to explain this one, and then I guess I'll leave it to Linda so that she can continue. So let me just call it data, for instance, or anything else, and then pandas dot read underscore CSV underscore CSV, and then I should be a string, because it's a string. You have to define it as a string, either single or a double quote. Then at the file name it was sample, right? Yeah, it was sample.csv. Sample.csv. Yeah. So guys, that's why you need to understand the extension CSV, and then let's try to read. Now, for example, if you want to read the entire data frame, we shall use a method here called toString. Let me first of all append that pandas. Then, because I want to read, if I want to read the entire data frame, you can use this method to underscore string method. Remember, whenever you're working with a method or a functions, you have to use these parentheses. I believe you guys by now you understand how to do that. Let me give it some seconds so that it can read the files. So to underscore string. No, it should work. It should work. I don't know why it's not working. By the let me
Yeah, have you placed the name? You should place there the data. You see, pandas.
Oh.
Is it something like because it's
sorry.
in this one, so that's why you have a problem.
Sure. Sorry, guys. I should have used the variable. I forgot. I forgot. Sorry, guys. Then let me give it. Yeah. So, guys, you can see we have this data here. Now, for example, if it were not here, for example, if this file was not here, let me try to delete. Now, let me remove. Let me go to my file, and then I try to my desktop. Then I try to remove this file. Then let me add it, for example, to the downloads. And then I try to read it direct. So like that way, it won't work. You have to define the path because it is in a different directory. I'm going to show you how you can read the files inside in a different directory. You can see now at the moment it's throwing the error. So if it is in a different directory, you have to define the path. You have to define the path. So you just copy the path. And if you are on Windows, you have to like specify in two backslashes. So like you can see at the moment, when I just run it this way, it won't work. It won't work if you are on Windows. So you have to enable to use two backslashes if it is a absolute path for it to work. Or you can use the forward slash. Let me run and see. So you can see, guys, that this way it will work. So this is an absolute path. Or alternatively, you can use the forward slash, a single forward slash like that. Like that, and then like that. Yeah, let's give it some second. Yeah, so guys, basically this is how you can read the files. So I think Linda, this is what I wanted to like show people, for example, to read the files in their operating system, because it's not always the case that you'll have files in the web. You might have the files in your operating system that you want to use them, not in the web part. So I believe people have understood maybe something there. And that's also yes.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Can you try to return that file on desktop so that it opens on the Jupyter?
To return that file to be in the same directory?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me place it there. And then now let me yeah, I think it's deleted. So guys, you can see now at the moment, because it's removed on that directory, it won't work. It won't. Sorry. Let me run, because it is this path is not defined. We've removed the file there. So because it is in this directory.
So what did you copy? You copy the, like, can you click it and then double if you have a mouse?
I do what?
You see, you can still copy the path from here.
Yeah. You can copy the path from here. You can as well copy the path, but if it is in the same directory, there's no need.
Okay.
There's no need. If it is in the same directory, in fact, you can see on this side, it doesn't give you the good path, the full path. No. Yeah. So that was just by the way, and sorry for interrupting your program.
No, that you've done a good job.
Okay.
You don't have to say sorry.
I return it to you then.
Thank you. Are you people okay? Yeah, I think the reactions tells it all. Anybody who has not understood? Yeah, I think everybody is good. Yeah, I like it. Thank you for the reactions, and let me now share my screen. So for me, I think I'll just go ahead and use the one that we had used. This one. Let this one not have any issue with you. I think it's because you have some warnings in the data, but the data it has imported it, like it has been imported well it doesn't have any problem. Yeah. I think they had an issue maybe because they used a data from, I think it's from GitHub. So I think it has problems. Let me just see. Yeah, it has mixed types, but I'll just use it because that is the one that we used on Explore AI. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show you is just the thing that Nehemiah has talked right now. Like if you want to print the entire, like we want to see the entire, I hope this it's not a big one. It's not big. So we want to print the entire data frame of this entire, so that you know how the data looks like. You just, so we run this one. So you just print. And then because as we initialize it to df, like we say the variable is df, we list df, and then to string, then like that. Let's see. Let it load. Why? I think because it's so big, it can't print all of it. But if it was like the one that Nehemiah has used it, you just, this is how you can view the entire data frame. But for us, you can just go ahead and let's see how the rows are. And if you want to see how the rows are, you just choose head. So you say df dot head. Let's see. Yeah. So this is it. This is how the data was. You see, like the index value was the names, then you have the columns, age, nationality, overall acceleration, agility, balance, and the head. Like if you want to specify maybe for it to bring for you maybe the first 5 rows or 10 rows, you can just place any value inside. Let's say maybe you want the first 5 rows. It will give you the first 5 rows. If you want any, depends by how your table, like how is it. So if somebody is wondering, the string of like the toString could have printed the entire data frame, but I think this data is huge, like it's big, so it's exceeded the memory. But I know if I had run it on Google Colab, it could have worked. Yeah. So anyone who has a question up to there? Anyone who has a question or is he or she is confused? Because this is where now most of the time you as a data scientist, even if you are going to work at a job or you are going to work for a client, most of the time this is, if you will be working with Pandas, this is where they will now come in most of the time. You will not have that time of creating a data frame. You will be working with that. Yeah. Yes, yes.
Please, I was actually kicked out by my network, so I didn't see how you imported yours, but I saw how Nehemiah did his. So yours was having DF, and it's kind of confusing me. I don't know if you help me recap a bit, please.
So where specifically? Here?
That's your, yes, having
this one
DF.
You can call it, even if you want to call it data, somebody can call it, you can even call it anything. You can say players. There's no problem. I just initiated just it to be DF. So the DF is just like a variable. So
okay, it's clear now. Thank you.
So it's and the importing is just the same way as Nehemiah has done, but Nehemiah was doing it because now he was doing it in real life situation, because now you have the data in your computer and want to import it to a Jupyter notebook. But this one, I just went ahead and picked the one that Explore I gave, and the reason why it's working is because this is the data that is in some GitHub. I think it's in Explore AI public data, and it's in their GitHub, so it's easier for it to retrieve from there. So no matter how, this data is not in my computer. I don't have it in my files, but it has read it maybe from there. from the GitHub because it has the HTTPS. It's like a link.
Let me ask, Linda.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see how Nehemiah did it, but if, for example, it was like you had the CSV file from on your computer, you wouldn't have to add the HTTPS, the link, Cindy.
Yes, exactly.
You just want to add
But if you didn't see, you are not able to see it, and you are okay.
Oh no, I was not able to see it. My net potted also.
Okay.
So I just got you when
Okay, I get you. The problem is that now I don't have that file. But I think my let me try and see. I think this file that I downloaded will work. Just a minute. Because I think that is very crucial.
Okay, what have you said? Nimepotea tena.
Oh, I'm saying I'm trying to like see how I can import it so that you can see what Nehemiah did.
Or you can can you just explain maybe?
Okay.
If it's done the same way, is it done the same way?
Yeah, it's done the same way. The difference is that let me just come here. Then let me. So you see, this is your the documents and maybe the file. This part picks maybe how you are mostly how your computer is. Like for example, in my computer, I have the desktop, I have the documents, I have the downloads, I have knowledge graph, I have links. You see. So let's say, for example, you downloaded your data, let's say from Kaggle or any public, or somebody sent you the data. So that data, let's say maybe it was in your desktop. You see. So when you click on, maybe you saved it on your desktop or downloads. So you just go ahead and click on desktop and make sure that data is there. Let's say maybe it's this Python, just for example. So let's say it's this Python. So you make sure while you are in this environment, you open a new Jupyter notebook, you see, so that like it's in the same environment. Then you'll just go ahead and import it. Let's say maybe for me it was that Python, so I could have done pd.read, then CSV, then I command here and check that name. Maybe it could have been Python, so it's a string. Sorry, what happened? So it will be something like this: Python, then .csv. Then you run it. Of course, this one cannot run because I'm just illustrating. Then, for example, if it could have been maybe in your maybe it's not here in this environment here. Let's say it's not under this maybe desktop, or you've deleted it. It's another place. You just go and copy the path. You'll go, maybe it's in your documents. You just copy the path. You click on that document, then if you have a mouse or if you are using the cursor, you right click, you always see that option of copy the path. Then you just come and copy that path here. Then you run, it will work.
Okay, Sasa, thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome so much too. Okay, so any other person? I understand the problems of internet. I know. Sometimes you get it kicks you out even if it has
called African problems.
It really messed me up yesterday. I had an interview, then it just lagged. Then I was just shocked because the entire time I was very prepared. Then when they told me, tell me about yourself, and then it went off. But it's okay. So this is how you check, like the head, it returns the first rows of the data frame. At least you can know how you are. You can understand your data and you see what is there and everything in that sort, and so on and so on. Also, there is another way. Like you can read the data frames. So you can decide to check at the information. When you check at information, this one will help you to display the names of the columns, the data types they contain, and whether they have missing values. So you just say df, then info. You see? So and then you run it. So you see like it's giving you what is there. You see these are the these are the columns in age. We don't have non-values. Then it's telling us in that column we have integers. Then nationality we have objects. Overall we have integers. The rest are objects. You see, so that is the like information. You want to know the information that is in your table. How many entries? You see, like the entries were so many. That's why we had issues when we were trying to view the entire data frame. You can see they have a total of 38 columns. See, 38 columns are so many. You see, like it's a big data frame. So that is all about if you want to check the information in your data frame. So you just say df.info, then it gives you the information, every information in your data frame. Anyone who has a question, who doesn't know how to check if they ask them to check the information in their data frame? So specifically, if you check for information, specifically always want to check if you have missing values. Like for example, you can check we don't have any missing values. You see everything is null, so we don't have any missing values. And also you can check whether the type of the data types that are there, like the integers, if it's an object, if it's a string, if it's a boolean, something of the sort. Yeah, so I think up to there you people are okay. The next thing, you can check the shape of your data frame. So for shape, you just say df.shape. And for shape, just make sure that because a shape is an attribute, and instead of a method, so you write it without the parameters. Like you don't place these things, rounded brackets, you just leave it like that. You just say df.shape, then you run it. So you realize that we have how many rows? We have 17,981 rows in our data frame and 38 columns. So you know the shape of it. So you can see like this data frame is so huge. So that is how you check for the shape of your data frame when given. Let me see, I've seen somebody has texted. Let me talk first to Anthony and then PJ. Anthony, yes. Arotulu, yes, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Linda. Sorry to butt in. I'm wondering, where do you get this data from, please? This file?
I got it from here. Let me see if it will run. Do you have your Excel, your Explorer I open?
Yes, I do.
Did you go through the content?
Not thoroughly. I've been.
Okay, can you go here? Just go to your Explorer I. Then I want you to go here. I think it's here. Is it here or here? Let me see. I know it will open and close again. I think it's under. Can somebody try to check, please? Can somebody just do it? Can you go to either your data frame? Is it the? Let me see. I had that file open. Let me see. Anyone? What is somebody saying in the chat? Can somebody know where I get that data from? Okay, I'm not going to show you guys. I want somebody to tell me where I get that data from. I'm not going to show you. Actually, I'm not going to show you.
Actually,
I want you to help. Yeah, I'm not going to show you because it's in the content. So yeah, it's in exercise from Pandas. So can you go to Pandas? Then go to it's I don't think it's exercise. It's the example. It's the example. Then just scroll. Then you go somewhere where you see they have imported, and then you'll see the link. It's in red. Yeah. Then let me know if you got. Yeah. Let me know if you have it. Yeah. I think that is the best way I can make you now go and know where I've gotten it from. Let's wait for him, please. Anthony, if you get it, please let us know. Somebody saying under 14.5.
Thank you very much. Please don't wait for me. I will search for the 14.5.
No, you have to get it. I'm not going to move if you've not gotten it. Just look for it, then tell us you've seen it.
Or I think you can be continuing. Then once you get it,
Yeah. I want him to get it. So make sure you tell us, Anthony. If after you've gotten it, make sure you alert us so that we go back to and see if you'll be able to import it and do what I'm doing. Okay, so from there, I think everybody has understood. As I've said, when you are looking at the shape, make sure you don't do this. Don't do this. Don't, because this is an attribute. It's not a method. It's not a method. So you write it without the parentheses. Yeah, and the reason why you as a data scientist, or maybe you are analyzing data, you want to look for the shape. It's because you want to know the number of rows and columns. So this is like a tuple. It brings out a tuple. Like this is a tuple 70981, then 38. Yeah. So don't include the rounded brackets. Then another way you can also check your data, you can use the describe, and the describe here you are trying to look at the summary of your statistics. When I talk of the summary of the statistics, maybe this will bring something like maybe the mean, median. You'll be able to look at the count. So let's try it. So df.describe.
Linda, before you talk about that, perhaps
Yes.
on that part of the where
Sure.
you have the shape.
Yes.
So I think people should also understand, for example, that is
Yes.
a two-dimensional array. You can see like we have two attributes, and I think someone asked me yesterday to explain. There's a question that someone asked, but on a axis, so always the first what? The first index or a zero always represent what? The zero always represent the
first one.
The first what? The rows, and then a one represent the the columns. Yeah. So once you have when you see that 17,000, just know that that's the number of the rows in your data frame. And then now the other part, the second axis, of which is one, represent the columns. They represent now the columns. So this is a two-dimensional array with index 0 representing the number of rows, and then index 1 representing the number of columns. I think someone asked me to explain about, there's something that someone asked me yesterday, but I think I shall create time and discuss that in details.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Anthony, are you there?
I've seen the document. I'm trying to download the data.
Okay, no problem. You can just oh, can somebody copy? Yeah, you can just copy it. You can copy that link from even if you have not downloaded it. You see the link where that said pd.read CSV, then that link that has HTTPS. Yeah, you can just copy that link, then go to maybe the file, go to the Jupyter notebook that maybe you are practicing on, then just load it there. Import it there, and then let's see if you'll be able to import it. Okay, that's good. Okay. So I was telling you under describe, the describe is the one that you want to know the summary statistics of these data frames. So for example, if you run it, you can see, you can understand the standard deviation, you can know the minimum, you can know the maximum value, you can know the 50, and this one is bringing the values that have integers. Keep that in mind. I think so. Is it the value that have integers? Yeah. So you see, like it's giving us the count, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, maximum. Then these ones are called. They usually called is it percentile, or how are they called? The first one the
percentile.
Yes. Yeah. So this one
is interquartile range, first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is it. So that is it. Yeah. So I don't think anyone has a question there. And also just the same way as you looked like the same way you try to check at the head of these, like the head rows, like the way you said dot head row to check the rows, the top rows, you can also check the rows that are on the tail. So you can say df dot tail to check the last rows. Yeah. So these are the ones that are at the bottom. These ones. Then the ones that are on the head, these ones are the ones that are on the top. Yeah. So I think up to there, I think everyone is good. So any other thing that I've not talked about, we can talk about maybe if you want to check maybe the columns, like the names of the columns, you can do dots, then columns. So you see, these are the columns. You have the age, nationality, overall acceleration up to preferred positions. And if you want to check the number of rows or the row names, you don't say df.rows, no. So it changes, it becomes df.index. Because I don't know if you've had Nehemiah talking about the rows being the index. So you see, it's a long one. It's a long one. Then it gives the last person is Saki. Is it Saki? Yeah. So I think after there we can check on. Before I move on, if Anthony is okay.
Thank you, Linda. I'm very okay now. I've just done, after loading the data, I've done df.info. I don't know what else you run after that.
Yeah, the first one was df.head. Does your df.info look like this? Like this?
Yeah, yes, it does.
And then I think you're good. So this doing like df.head, df.info, df.shape. It's like just you are looking how the data is. Like you just want to know what is in your data before you start doing other things with your data. Before you start maybe plotting, or if you want to add columns, or if you want to remove columns. Yeah, that is what they do.
Thank you. I just realized my mistake now. I put bracket in front of the df.shape.
No, you don't. Shape doesn't have this one. Just remember, it doesn't have the rounded brackets.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else who is stuck? Anyone? Because I want to move to sorted now. How you can sort? Like for example, we can sort like for each maybe to be in ascending or descending order. But let's just start by sorting and let's see how it works. So for sorting, you use sort underscore values. So that will be df dot sort underscore values. Then remember now for sort, you have now to make sure which column. For example, which column do we want to sort? For example, we can say we want to sort which one can we pick? We had the edge. Can we pick the edge? Yeah, we can pick the edge. So we want to sort. So you make sure you use by, like you say by, and then is equals to that row that you want to sort. So it will be just a minute. So it will be open, then by, then let's say edge. Yeah. I haven't written it at the right place. Just a minute. I have to create another cell. Yeah, I was here. Sorry guys. So we can sort the edge. Then because our our data is so big, we can just make sure that it brings the option of the rows that are the first ones. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. So if we check the age, you can see the smallest player is 16 years. So I've only sorted the top rows because I've introduced the head. So the first one is 16, 16, 16, 16. Maybe if you print the entire, I didn't want to print because this data is so huge. Well, let me try and see if it can give us the entire. I don't want it to hang. No, it's been. Yeah, it prints, then you see it omits some data here, but it's there because it cannot showcase all of it. So you see the top one has, the youngest one has 16, 16, 16, 16, like it has arranged in ascending order. Actually, ascending order, it's always the default if you sort the values in a data frame. But other times, you can decide to introduce if you want it to be ascending or descending, like ascending true or ascending false. You don't say descending. Yeah, so let's say df dot sort values, then it was by age, then
correct your value.
where?
Add you to your value.
Yeah, thank you. Like that. Yeah, thank you so much. So we want it to be ascending, so is equals to true. Yeah, there we go. So if you want it to be descending, you say is equals to, here you say ascending is equals to false. So if you run it, you see it's starting now from the highest to the smallest. Okay, up to there was not understood. Let me go back this side so that you can see if there is anyone who is stuck. Okay, I think you people are okay. Okay, so I think you people are okay. So the next thing that I'm going to talk, it's about filtering. So filtering, basically, you want maybe to filter something like maybe you want to check maybe the people, like the age of people who are above, maybe let's say, you can say, let's say maybe like 30 years, you want to see the people maybe who are less than 30 years. So there is where now you bring in the filtering part, like you want to filter those people to understand. So let's try. So we'll say df. Then you'll have to call because you'll say df, then df now for to pick the data frame so that you can now filter it. Then you write now the column that you want to filter. For example, ours will be age. So it will be age. Then who can say what do we check? Greater than? Somebody to tell us. What do we check? Greater than what?
Greater than 18.
18. Okay, let's try that. We have an error. Why? Just a minute. Because we need to use how is it called?
square brackets.
Yes, yeah, the square brackets. So that is it. So it only prints those ones that are above 18 years old. So that is what this is filtering. Let me just place something like a comment. Yeah, and you can even filter. You can filter maybe you can filter the name that you want and maybe the age, or you can filter even more than 2 rows. But filtering basically you are just filtering. You want to know maybe if you want maybe a group maybe from a certain age to a certain age, or maybe if you can even use these other. You're not supposed to just focus on the one column, but you're just doing one column for practice. But you can even go and say maybe you want to see this player who does good sliding tackle. Then they have their points. They want to see like just so that you just remain in the data frame. You filter those ones that they have maybe less than 20 sliding tackles, or maybe ball control, or maybe balance. They don't understand these things, ball control. I know that is football, but that is how you do filtering. Okay, any question before I go on? Any question?
Okay, mine is not a question, but maybe
Yes.
I just wanted to say like if you don't specify if you want to print out the entire data frame, or if you want to
Yes.
print the head or a tail, by default it will print the first 5 rows and the last 5 rows of your data frame. So if you don't specify, for example, to string to print out the entire data frame, or if you don't specify the head and the values of the rows that you want to print out, or the tail with this value that I want to print out. Remember, by default, when you print out the head method with the head method, it will return the first. Also, the tail, if you print out, it will return the last 5 record. But also on the tail, you can specify you want to return, for example, the last 20 rows, or the last 10 rows, or maybe if it's head, the first 10 rows, first or 20 rows. So if you don't specify, for example, to string or at the head and the tail, so by default it will return the first and then at the last 5 rows. That's why you can see always, like for example, in this example that is being displayed in the screen, you can see this. It is divided into 5, and then there you have like something like the ellipse there, separating the head and the tail. So so that people will understand where these so that you may not be confused about these those things. Those ellipse there is separating the head and the tail. So the first 5, and then at the last, the last what? Yeah. So
5 rows.
yeah, I think that's what I
Okay,
had
thank you
to.
so much. Okay. Any other person? Are you people okay? Are you tired? Are you okay?
I have a question.
Yes,
No, to Alan.
yeah,
Is it
I wanted
Alan?
to ask something.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Alan. Maybe she can go first, then I can go later after her.
Okay, Alan.
You said you can filter more than one column.
Yes.
Can you try maybe filtering after the age? You also try filtering like with is it the country or with a specific country? How do you do that?
Anyone who has an idea before I go through it? Anyone? Ijoma, you're just laughing. You can share with us so that everyone can laugh.
So, sorry, I was actually laughing at Ray. So, but I want to say, I want to contribute. I may be wrong, but I think to filter multiple values, you have to separate it. You can, I don't know. Let me just put you.
Okay, so I should let me just okay, so Ijoma.
Yes,
So
like
our
the string.
person, so age, we had age. And then we want it to be greater than 18. Then you say,
then yeah, comma, then you put another thing that you want, another value you want to filter. I don't know if I'm correct, but that's
like this.
Yes. Or no. You have to just put after the comma, you put the values. Am I right?
No, let's try. So let's say overall. Something like that.
Well, let's try, but I was hoping there won't be this coily bracket in between. I was thinking maybe it's just the comma separating the first and the rest of the value you want to filter.
Let's see if it will run. It's taking time. So that one has an issue.
Linda.
Yes.
You know what? Because the data is large, right?
Yes.
Put everything in a curly bracket, put dot head and put 5 so that it will run faster. Dot head.
So I
yes, as in put no. Like put that DF, the initial DF.
I remove this one.
No. Don't remove anyone. Put a curly bracket, like a couple. No. No, like the beginning of the DF. Yes, put a curly bracket. No, not sorry. Couple bracket, the normal curve bracket, not
the rounded.
Yes, the round bracket. Then put it at the end of the list, the overall. No, not that place. Overall, yes, that place. Okay, yes, okay.
So here we want it to be greater than 40. And this one is red, so that means this one is closing this one. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have a problem with the parentheses.
Can I try explaining
Yes.
that?
Yes.
So sometimes, for example, to filter with different columns. So for example, you want like for example, let's say you have a list. Let me just use how can I a fictional table, something like that. Let's say you have a table that contains, for example, the names, and then at the countries, and then at the age, and then you want to filter a particular range of people. Let's say you want to filter for example, in example, let's say filter the 18 years and above, and then I want to filter based on the country, based on the country of origin. So you'll use the condition the way we used in other like in different like in a SQL, DAX, the same way. Like for example, you can use the AND or. So or it means that if it can either contain either of them, it will return something like. Or let's do this. Let's try with an example based on your data frame there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we have the. I wanted us to check the age.
Yeah.
And let's take over age and overall.
Yeah. So in that case, you'll separate. You'll say just write the way you had written. You
Sorry,
separate.
Nema.
Yes.
I'm sorry to come in.
No problem.
Can you just undo on that cell before you do what you want to do? Just undo and go back to what you had before.
What I have done.
Yes. Just can proceed to.
Okay. Let me. I'm undoing.
There is a missing square bracket just after that 40.
It was that way.
Yeah, so
So
go
here,
back to that 40 years. No, before the curly bracket, before the round bracket. Exactly. So let's run it and see if it works.
they're saying the data frame object is not callable.
Okay. So it's a different problem now. Nema, please go ahead.
Okay, I think let's use a different cell. Let's
I
use a different.
think these ones were integers or they were objects, but I'm not sure. Okay, let me use a different cell, then we'll see
Pardon what you've
what.
just said.
Yeah,
Pardon what you've just said.
I was asking if the column overall was an integer. Let me just check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what
So,
do you
but
mean as an
maybe just to like maybe I think people can be confused. So to understand what is an object and so anything that you define with a variable is an object. Can be a string, can be a data structure. Anything that is defined with with a variable. For example, is a list, is a tuple. That is an object. That's an object. So I think people should know that. That was just by the way. So now in this case, now for example, you want to filter based on particular conditions. You want to filter based on the particular condition. So you'll begin with your div the way it is, but now the filter condition will be enclosed in the parentheses. So you first of all open with these square brackets. You can delete the inner df and then the square.
like that?
Yeah, like that. And then open
That's
the parentheses, two parentheses inside it. No,
okay.
just
So this one, then this.
no. The parentheses, the brackets, the rounded brackets.
Curly brackets, the curly
Like
brackets.
that. Okay, you call rounded brackets parentheses?
Yeah, it is
No, you
parentheses. So what you do, let's
no,
just
no. I
relax.
think what Nehemiah is saying is start with square bracket, then now open rounded bracket inside the square bracket.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, like that. So now in the first filter criteria will go in that rounded bracket. So let's say for example the first one was what?
Age.
Age. So you say that df then into age the way you had just written. And then the way you had just written the square. No, it's fine. There you just write there. You just write there
Age.
age. Yeah, the way you had just written your age.
Then you
Age.
want it to be
Then
greater than age.
yeah, like that. So no, how have you written? So the age should be first of all delete that dirty. Am I confusing you?
No.
After that part of the age, the end of it, the end of that square, you write now the nini, the
Here.
greater than or equal.
Yeah, you're right. So I write above you are 18. I've got it.
Yeah. So let's say that's the filter criteria. You want to filter, you want to only find to return only the age of 18. Then I want to add in another filter criteria. So you'll use, for example, if you want to like have the exact match, you'll use the and it means that the two conditions must contain. No, with the and with the ambo symbol.
Small.
The ambo symbol. Just
Oh,
use
yeah. This one.
after that parentheses. So the first is the first filter criteria like that. Yeah. Then I use, for example, and then you can add in also another filter criteria.
Parentheses.
Yeah, inside the parentheses. Then I will say, for example, df. Yeah. So and then overall, maybe you can try to So yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So it takes
So
one.
yeah, so like that. And then, for example, if you want to include also another one, you lose, for example, or it means that either of the condition should be met. It will return either of the condition. So I think you guys understand how these things work. So just try with that example, and then we'll see. So if you want to use several criteria, so you'll see that in this case, it will only return above 18 and where overall is above 30.
Yeah.
I believe that girl who asked about that.
Linda.
Yes.
Give this function that you and Nehemiah just created. Give it an attribute name.
How?
An attribute name, like call it maybe DF check or whatever you want to call it. DF filter equal to. Then yes, then do a shift. Yes, then do a print a DF underscore filter dot head. Dot head.
Like that.
Yes.
But I have to add another clause. Let's see.
Yes.
It has an issue.
Remove the print.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, by there, guys, you can see now by default it returns the first five.
Yeah.
And you can specify the number of values that you want to return at the head. For example, you want not values actually, the number of rows. The number of rows that you want to return. So in the head, you can decide by default it will return the first 5, but you can specify if you want to return 10, 20, the way Linda explained earlier. So you can specify. But now remember the head returns the first in that table, the first rows. And then at the tail returns the last rows. It returns from the last rows. Yeah.
Okay. Alan, are you okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Ian, you had a question, then you said, let her talk first.
Yeah. I think I've forgotten the question, but I'll remember as you go on.
It's okay. So there's another feature also whereby you always drop the rows that has null values, but now we know our table has like the rows, there's no row that has a null value. So I'll just show you, but I think there will be no change because there is nothing that will be dropped. But I'll just show you how to do it. Okay. So, for example, I can say, let me do the way even Ray has told me. So let's say drop. Sorry, df drop. So if you want to drop the rows, always use drop NA. Drop NA is a method that returns a new data frame and it will not change the original. It will return it, but it will remove the empty. If you have any empty cells, they will go, or empty rows, they will go. But it will return the data frame just like it was. So just do df, then drop now. Then you can print df drop. Then you can do it. You can decide to print to see if you want to see the first rows or the last rows. But this is how you do it. So it won't do anything for now, I think. So it will just return the data frame, but you see there is nothing. The rows are still the same. There is even if you check df info, you realize that there is no row that will these rows. There's nothing that will go because we don't have no null. We don't have null. That is if you people are getting what I'm saying. We happen to get a data whereby there was no null values. Yeah. So if you want to drop any null values, you always use drop NA. But if you want to drop a column, you just use drop, like you use drop only without the NA. So anyone who has not understood, anybody?
But why did it come out like a series?
It came out as it, yes, just go ahead. So here it
Should
is.
be like a data frame, like the. Well, I think it came out like a series or something.
No, it's still a data frame. Let me do this. I don't know if I don't. Let me see. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I see if this will work. Yeah, you want it to be that this way?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, no problem. You can do it. I was doing it the way Ray had done it here, but it's okay. It's okay. This is, yes.
Linda,
Yes.
if you want it to appear like this, don't use print.
Yeah.
Just do it the same way you were doing it before, but instead of using print, just call the variable directly .head. It should appear like
And
this.
sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's not a must even you call it to a variable. You can just say df.drop and then it just gives you.
And then
The head just makes it faster to run because the data may be large. So when you say the head,
you have to print. For you have to print it. Do you see?
Try it.
Yeah, I've run it. It's. You see?
No, I mean no. Put the variable under it.
The variable. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I go to 100%. Yeah. That works too. Yes, Nehemiah?
Sorry, I just wanted to explain the other side where you can see the one that you've printed down there, it goes to like infinity. You have to scroll down so that you can see the last, the other rows. So basically when you did the other way, it just, did a break of the columns. You can see there at the end of each, there's a break. So remember the series are just the same, the numbers, that means in all of that. But now you can see when it does a line break, it's going to instead of having the continuous line so that you can display all the columns with the first 5 rows on the same, interface in the same display, so that you may not struggle to scroll all the way to the other side. So I think she was wondering why it is coming that way. So it basically does it breaks down so that you can see everything at a glance, instead of scrolling.
Yeah. Okay, so any other person? Ian, did you remember your question or it disappeared just like that?
Yeah, things are getting hotter. I think I'll remember maybe later.
Okay, so I think everybody has understood. Drop NA, I've told you it's for dropping, removing the empty cells. You see? So the aftermath after it, the data frame that will be showcased after that will be the one that has no. I wish we had one that had empty cells so that you people could have seen what could have happened if we had maybe even here we had a null value. This could have gone, and we could have seen even the number of rows maybe could have reduced. But I think we'll test that with another data maybe later if you get.
Or you can just copy the values then you create a simple CSV file. Do you have Excel? And then you remove some cells so that people will.
I do what?
We have Thomas in the group. You just copy the values there and then you create a CSV file.
These values.
Yeah, any values there. Yeah. And then
I don't get you.
You create a CSV, though it may take time. But you create a CSV file in a normal Excel.
Did your data on your end have any null values? The one that you are using, did it have null values?
No, that one I even didn't analyze it. I just downloaded from the internet. So
Okay.
Yeah. But no
Because I
problem.
think they could have sent the change.
Okay.
Linda,
Yes?
please, kindly throw more light on that shape, please. And
Pardon?
another question I want to ask.
Yes?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I said, can you throw more light on the shape? I hadn't joined when you guys treated the shape.
Okay, I think Nemaya, on shape.
And to drop column, so you have to just provide the name of the value you want to drop, right?
Yes, but I've not done it. That is where I was
Yes.
able to. I think, okay, I don't think Nemaya should explain it because he explained it. Let me choose somebody so that I see if you people had what he said. Actually, let me tell you something. The goodness of talking and asking questions and engaging, you'll understand. I don't think today I've not had Lauren. Lauren, I've not had you talking today. Are you good?
Yes, Linda, I'm good.
Can you explain to Ijoma this shape? That is if you remember.
Yes. So the shape basically shows us how many rows we have and how many columns we have. So the first number is the number of the rows, the count of rows, and then the second one is the count of the columns that we have in our data frame.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes, very clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lauren. So let's now go and, though I didn't want to drop any column, but let me just drop it. Okay, which column should we drop? We should drop the one that is on this side. Which one should we drop? Can somebody suggest for us?
Linda, you can just forget about dropping if you don't want to. At least you answered that question. I can use my data here and try it out.
Okay, but
That's okay.
maybe I can give the formula. So if you want to drop a column, let's say maybe you've been working on data, or maybe you people, if you end up becoming machine learning engineers, and maybe you want to train your model, and maybe you figure out that this column has a feature and that feature is not required. I don't want this feature because it will not train my data well. I'll not end up getting a good model that will give me a good prediction, maybe if I test it with my test data that it has not seen. So maybe you'll have to get rid of a column. So let's say, for example, here, we can try maybe to see, maybe I'm just trying to explain, maybe if you are working on a real data, then maybe you are realizing that indeed the stamina, let's say like stamina, what will stamina help us know if maybe Ronaldo is a good player or not a good player? You can end up deleting that row because it doesn't add any value on your data, and even maybe if you are building maybe a model. So let's try and delete. I wanted to delete stamina. So stamina is, then let me count. Is it's at, this one was at index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me go back here because that's, or should I just delete this? Let me delete overall. So you'll do the same thing. Let me do how Ray has told me to do. Drop column. So you'll do the same. It will be the same thing like this one, but you have to specify the row that you have. And again, here you'll have to use drop, only drop. Don't add the NA. So we've said we are specifying the row, and the row we've said we are picking. What did I choose? We are picking overall. So overall. index was it? Somebody please. Overall is index? Can somebody help please? No, is it 2?
I think it's 3.
It's 3, yeah, because columns you start from 1, 2. So this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3. So let's try and see. Let it run.
Hello, I have a question.
Yes?
I'm getting lost somewhere.
Yes?
Index, are we just giving the index number of the column, or we just specify we are working on index?
Pardon?
Should we just specify the exact index? Is it index or indices? Are we supposed to specify the exact index, or we just specify that we say index equals to 1 to mean that we are working on column?
I'm not sure because I even have an error. Just a minute, I'm getting back to you. Anyone who understands what our error is? It
Maybe you
says
should remove the index since
it
you
says
can say you can use label and index. So
use 1.
Okay. Like that?
Yes, let's try
Just a
that.
minute. Who talked before Thomas? Was it Thomas?
I was saying.
Who talked? It's Frederick. Frederick, just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, just a minute. It's still not working.
Are we not supposed to specify column is equals to maybe now overall?
You need to put column is equal to the name of the column.
I don't think so. Why?
I thought you should say axis equals to 1.
Okay, let's try that. Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that it understands. But the overall is still there. Yeah, it is. Can you people help? Let me talk to Frederick. What were you saying before we go on?
That is exactly what I was asking.
Okay.
Please, can I look at the format of that overall? If it's the same way it's written the same way.
It's the same 94, 93, 92, 92. Yeah. Can you people let's engage now. Let's engage. Anybody who knows what is the problem?
I'm not sure, but is there a need for square bracket to identify that it's a column that you are trying to? Is there a need for square bracket around the overall?
Where? Here?
Yes, that's it.
I should not. What should I do? Square.
Yes, add a square bracket.
Overall.
This one. Like that.
Oh, just overall. Just for the overall.
Like that? Like this.
But that axis, can you remove the axis?
Then a DF in front of the overall.
This one.
No, in front of the square bracket here.
I remove DF.
Sure, I just put a DF in front of the square bracket.
Oh, like this.
Yes.
Okay. See? Not yet.
Linda, will you try this?
Okay, let me see who's talking.
Yeah, will you try writing, just like Ray had said earlier on, DF dropped is equals to, you can introduce a variable. Like,
so let me say DF underscore drop.
Yes.
And then is equals to DF,
DF dot drop. then the column that you want to drop.
I wanted to drop. Let me pick age. Let's try age.
So just put
without the column.
Okay, overall. Okay, overall.
Then
with the color with the square brackets.
you can write
Just a minute. Ian, do you want the square brackets or the round brackets?
no, without the square brackets. Just before the closing brackets, you can put a comma. Before the closing, before overall. Yeah, after overall, yes, there. Then right axis is equals to 1.
Yeah, there's something that, just a minute, there's something that I've seen. Axis is equals to 1.
Then you can write print. Then you can write print
DF drop. Or I can just call it.
Yeah, whichever.
Okay, I know where we are going wrong. Anyone, just a minute, Ian. I just want to ask a question so that you people see where we are going wrong. The people who are talking, Frederick, can you be able to know what you are doing wrong from what you have written? Are you able to know the problem? If you cannot, you just say no.
No.
Okay. Another person was talking. Thomas, you talked.
But
do you see? Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Thomas, do you see any issue? Like the issue we had. Where was the issue?
Previously, there was, after the first df underscore drop, there was no df dot drop in the previous code that we were writing. So currently, we've added df dot drop.
Okay.
To this current one.
Okay. Any other person? Is it Fikona who is talking? Fikona, were you talking?
I thought square brackets indicate a column, but I'm not using square brackets.
Okay, and let me ask you something. Do you see here where we are writing axis is equals to 1? What were we writing before? Were we writing axis or were we writing index?
Index.
Yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem because now it's trying to drop an index and the index is the rows, but the columns are the axes. Do you see where the problem is? The code was okay even before we started saying put, I don't know, not the round bracket. Everything was okay. The only problem was these axes. You see, and you see when you tell Python that it drops the column overall, and you tell it axis equals to 1, it knows. It starts from axis equals to 1, it checks, it realizes axis 1 is age, it leaves it. It moves to the second one, it realizes its nationality, it leaves it. When it moves to the next, it realizes it's overall, it drops it. That's why at the end of the day, it's not there. So I think people now have understood. Here, it's not index, it's axis. So here is where we were confusing, right?
And
I think people are now okay. Yes, John?
By default,
Yes.
it will delete the axis 1. It will delete the column.
Yes.
And if you don't specify the axis by default,
it will delete.
Can you try to remove that axis?
Yes.
That axis.
Like this?
Just like that, yeah. Try to run. It throws an error.
Yes. Not found in axis. Because overall is at axis 2, 3.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. I think John, please talk.
Please, can you remove the axis, then put square brackets?
Where?
For the overall.
Like this. Like this.
Then put
like this.
But then put the column. Sorry, the drop.
Drop is here.
What you just deleted.
What I deleted was the axis.
No, I mean the double
bracket.
The bracket.
Okay. Like this. Like this.
Yes, let's try it.
Okay.
Okay. Can you try to remove that parenthesis, the square bracket
But
instead?
this error we are experiencing, don't you think that is because overall has gone up in table?
Just wait a minute.
Oh,
We are. Fikona has said it has not worked. So Nehemiah said he removed. Then after that, I want John to talk. So let's see. So Nehemiah, you said I removed
Try to remove
ones.
that. Try to
Like
remove
this.
and run it.
Okay. It's still.
It's still nini.
Yeah. Overall, not found in Axis. John.
Linda.
John.
Because we dropped it already. Let's drop something else.
Just a minute, John. John.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, what if you are dropping the rows?
The rows.
I wanted you to show an example with the rows.
The rows.
Yes. If I wanted to drop a row.
I think the rows now will be index. If I'm not.
So
I think the rows we can. Sorry, John.
I'm asking. So for the rows, if you pass here, like let's say Messi, and you specify the index.
I think so. You can say index is equals to 0 so that it starts counting from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, instead of the axis now.
Yeah, I think so.
Linda,
we are going to try that. Just a minute. We're going to try that so that we are on the same page. So just a minute. Who's talking?
I'm talking.
Okay, Ian.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on that and say that if you want to drop the rows, you can actually use axis, but then you say that you specify the axis. For rows, you use axis is equals to 0. But for column, you say axis is equals to 1.
Okay, let's try. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's
just
try.
on the same.
Yes.
Would you kindly just try to remove the variable that we've created, df underscore drop.
So I have to pick, what was the name of Lionel Messi? This one. So we go the Lionel Messi. Just a minute so that I copy the right variable. So let's try actually. I really like that person who asked this question. So you said we're doing this, then you said I say axis is equals to
0.
Like that.
Yes.
You are right. So I think John, you have your answer with you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And then
so
Linda.
The index.
Just a minute. I want to see people. I want to go step by so that people are not talking. They're able to understand. So Nehemiah, what are you saying?
There was this girl who you were trying to answer her, and she had not finished her statement.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
you try with a different column because when you drop, perhaps it throws that error because it's not there.
Okay, and then there's a person who was raising her hand. His hand, I think, is who was that?
I wanted to say that to work on it, you are trying to remove overall.
Yes.
Overall, but overall had been dropped earlier. So you can also try another column.
Okay. So let's do it, guys. So let me just copy these, just for my sake, so that I don't get tired. So which column do you want us to remove?
Can you go to the Nini? Though I'm talking on her behalf, but you can scroll up and see.
It was I don't know where she has gone to.
Try age.
I'm here.
Which column do you want me to try? Remove?
No, it's fine. I wasn't the one who requested for that. I was one that asked question of column, and then done it to the overall, and it's fine. If someone else, let me.
Sorry.
Are you the one?
Nehemiah was suggesting.
Yes, it was Fikona. She was trying to give a syntax for.
I think when you are dropping.
Yes.
When you are dropping, Nehemiah was suggesting that you can drop without having the axis. Now you can try removing edge, dropping edge without using axis.
Okay. Because I think that would work because it's the first one.
No, now try with the other one. Don't use don't use the first one. Use
Okay, let's
different.
use agility.
Yeah. Just copy so that you may not have okay.
Spelling errors.
Yeah. Because I usually work with that, and that way it usually work. I don't know.
Me too. Even I'm so soaked.
Can you scroll down?
Well, let me try something. Let me try. Let me just a minute. If this one doesn't work, then I don't know what is the issue. Yeah, I think it has a problem. It says agility not found in axis. But if you do axis is equals to 1, then agility will go.
Wait,
it's gone.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Esther?
The reason you're using axis equals to 0 is to specify whether it's a column or a row. It's not about the number that you're counting. It's not about like it's row number 7 or anything.
Yeah.
When you put axis equals to 0, you're saying it's either a column or it's when you use axis equals to 1, it's either a column, and axis equals to 0 is a row.
Yeah, that's 100% right. Thank you so much, Esther. That's good, and that is how we need to figure it out.
Linda, I have a question.
The axis. I think you can see drop column without putting the axis or something.
What should I do?
I think we can still drop without putting the axis.
We can still drop it.
Without putting the axis.
But it's not working. It's not working. See, it's not.
Linda, can you try with a dictionary? Can you just create a simple dictionary? I think you had created the earlier.
Yeah, you can just pick it.
And use it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just use that one.
I think I can just add let me just go and
copy so that in case someone wants to use your notebook.
Let me first check, make sure this one is okay. But the way Esther has said, that is how you people should reason, like that. Like she's 100% right. So here it is. So
yeah, so what you do, try like you see that part where we have there's a way where you had the dictionary. I don't know if you can access that that data frame where you had a dictionary with some you had a dictionary somewhere.
Is it this one?
Yeah, I think yeah, you can copy that one. No. Try that one. That where we had a key, then a value was a list. Where was that? Yeah, that part where we have age. I don't know. Yeah, this part.
This one.
That part where we have calories and then some values in the list. High that has high in it. At the cell number 14. Yeah.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you try to copy? And then there at the bottom, no, you don't have to delete in fact that one. But now
okay.
so that's fine. Okay.
Then?
Yeah, so here now you can, in fact, let's just create a variable of the column that we want to delete. For instance, let's say column, div column drop, something like that to be described there. That's fine still. And then you'll assign here to, no, I want you to like assign it to the column name in a string. Oh my goodness.
Okay, can you say a variable? So what is the
just create a variable. Just create any variable like the one that you had written.
Okay.
You can call it column to drop. Yeah, that's fine.
Then
assign it to, for example, calories is a string.
Should
match the values that is there. You can see the calories there is small. Remember, Python is case sensitive. Calories that begins with a small.
Okay.
Yeah, just like that. Don't add in the colon. And then now there you can, for example, let's use a div, create a variable again.
How is it? How do I
df,
call it?
just like that is fine. Then assign it to df dot drop dot drop, and then specify that part where we want to drop it.
So want to drop maybe
no, so you are passing that variable that contains the column that you want to drop. You could have just passed there direct. You see that part where we have a column, div underscore column, that variable, just paste there.
These calories.
No, the variable. You see the way you usually use variables. You copy
Okay,
that.
yeah. I've understood it. I've understood this one.
Yeah. Because
why we always use df now? Me, I'm tired with this df.
use something else. Use
Even
dw.
it's making it feel as if you are defining the variable.
You can call it, for example, dropped column or something else, so that we may not make that guy become tired.
DF is a data frame.
Yeah, so no, that was fine. I think the other DF, I don't know what he asked.
Let me
That's just
see. Let me just do this. Drop call. Then this one will be drop call.
Yeah, try to run it. Okay, print because I is a variable. Try to use a print function.
So I print call or drop.
Yeah,
I print call.
Print call. Yeah, try to run it. What does it say?
It says calories not found in the axis.
Oh, I see the reason. Okay, so you have to specify.
Yeah.
You have to specify the index, the axis.
Yeah.
And by the yesterday was to talk about the axis, but NumPy, it was big, and the content of the week is too much, and we had to cover some bits. That's why I didn't cover, but I had to talk about the axis and how you can, for example, slice particular elements in a particular there was that part where I had to handle, for example, in a different dimension, for example, in 3D or in 2D, for example, you want to slice based on the axis. But I think we shall create time and handle that.
Yeah. I think okay, Esther, you can talk. I'm seeing your hand. Then I think also, depending on time, and I believe people now. I think the things that you've talked about are the basics, and that is how you'll be working on. If you get a data, that is how you'll be importing. That's how you'll be checking. If you get to have null values, you should get of null values. You can decide to. So I think I haven't finished, but I think if we happen, but I know tomorrow we won't have time because okay, let me not talk about it. I think we'll just fix another time. But I think on Monday and Tuesday I'll be taking it through classes. Yeah. So I think there's a time whereby I'll go back and teach you people how you can add a row, you can add a column, and so many you can group by, because right now I think time is running, and also you people, I know the more you read, the more the mind in actual it becomes tired.